Hey everybody, and welcome to the 6th annual Discers for Critters here in the Romero Park in Cheyenne.
We got round 1, part 1 for you today. Have 4 extra holes added on. We have Arlin Bird here. All of our players today are all Wyoming locals. Dakota's actually a Cheyenne local.
That's me, by the way, and Dale is my other commentator here.
Trevor Johnson, I believe he's out of Laramie, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
And I think Lucas here might be out of Casper area. Not positive on that, but got good Wyoming crew showing up for us today.
So we're going to start on hole 5. I'm not 100% sure why, but it's fine. Starting hole's a starting hole.
This one's a fairly straightforward hole. It's kind of a blind shot. There's a lot of them on this course, but just got to throw a hyzer. That is about what you're looking for right there.
Right toward those 3 pine trees just on the other side of that creek and marsh area.
Yeah, you do not want to come up short in that marsh area, because that, even if you are safe, you may not find it, so. Everybody seeming to go with the hyzer line.
Yeah, and there's OB deep and left, and there's OB to the right as well. But it's really kind of difficult to get over to that right OB, and playing that safe hyzer toward that and fading back toward the trees is clean, easy shot.
Yeah, so here's Lucas for his birdie. Kind of got to bend it around there a little. That should give him an easy 3.
As you can see, there's a lot of little guardians back here guarding that basket, but that was a great shot.
Yep, good birdie from Trevor.
It's a confident putt to have on hole 1.
Oh, no.
Not so
Little
much
bit
for Arlin.
right side there for Arlin. Lucas and Arlin tapping out their 3s. You'll finally get to tap in your 2. Nice drive.
Thank you.
Alright, so I would have expected at least one more birdie out of the card there, but not a bad showing. At least nobody threw it low and got caught in those reeds.
No bees, no rough, just a couple off putts, and one of them was, had some difficulty with the branches.
Yeah. Hole 6 here is actually in a shorter position than I'm used to, making it just basically another hyzer shot.
It's almost the exact same shot. It's almost the same distance as well, just more uphill.
Yeah. And the OB on the right comes into play more. Right at the top of that slope on the right side, there's a marked out of bounds area.
Why I tend to over hyzer it like that, like I just did.
I could see that.
Sidearm is a good play, and that looked pretty good out of the hand. Just seems a little short.
Arlin a little low. It's turning in pretty nice, though.
Oh,
a little deep. I hope he didn't get too far in there.
It's been a while since this happened, so I don't remember shot for shot.
Yeah. Lucas going with the same sidearm. Tends to play that sidearm higher than I expect.
But that also went deep, and that can be pretty tough down there.
Yeah. The weeds are tall enough. He's kind of lucky he found it. Good bid from there. Oh, and that's a tough spot. You can see how much he's stretched out. Barely had any room to move. Oh, and just a hair low.
Yeah, it's a little uphill, but this putt.
Trevor going for the only birdie on the card.
And a dead center, perfect putt. To hold this short, this open, it's hard to kind of not be upset about the par on it, but there is some difficulty to be had.
Yeah, definitely. Arlin was in some real danger, so
Yeah.
I could see coming up short being an
Even
issue
getting
just because
out-
you don't want to be there.
Even getting out from where he was at was
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Trevor's got a nice start going. 2 down for 2. You're 1 down. Here's hole 7. This one I feel like should be just a almost gimme birdie, but it never seems to really be that way. And especially right now, because it's pretty flooded down there at the bottom during
these
this.
roughs are just that.
Yeah.
That was a great shot.
Looks like you're throwing your mutant there.
Yep. It just pushing that hyzer and hoping for the best, and that worked out pretty well. I'm pretty sure I actually punched deep beyond those trees.
Yeah. Looks like
Just like
Arlin will
Arlin.
just join you over there.
Yep.
It's a good play.
It's the safer play when it's that wet.
Yeah,
that
'cause
area.
you're more likely to be dry in that area. That one's a little wide to the right. Still not too bad.
No,
He'll have a
it's-
longer putt, but it's
it's wide
definitely
open.
doable. You can see all the water here now. And he wanted to keep his putter dry.
That's a good too.
Yes, it is. Oh, and just a little bit wide right.
It's a good bit from that distance.
Yeah, had a good height on it.
And that never had a good height or a good direction.
Yeah, it looks like you might have been thinking about the water a little bit on
I
that
mean,
one.
I'm not going to say it wasn't in my head. And that turkey is a great way to start the round.
Yes, it is. No chains needed on that putt. Yep, looks like that'll give us 2 of the 4 getting the birdie on that one.
And though it probably shouldn't be, just because, again, it's a relatively easy hole with a wide open hyzer line. That's pretty typical for that hole, to have 2 2s, 2 3s.
Yep. Alright, so here's hole 8. We're going up the hill.
Now, that 320 isn't fully accurate either, because we
Yeah.
have to move the tee pad to accommodate for some flooding.
So yeah, we aren't actually getting to see him tee off from the actual tee pad, but it's maybe about 40 feet in front of it, so it's making this hole
It could be
much
why
shorter.
Trevor just went deep there.
Yeah. Yeah, he might have still had that original number in his head. It makes this hyzer a lot more doable. From the tee box, there's kind of a tree in the way, and this is not really as open of a line
But
for
it is still really uphill, so it's still
Yeah.
a long hole where it plays that way.
Ooh, and that one's just not coming back. Was that your origin?
Yep. I think I was throwing it for the original distance as well. I played
Yeah.
this course. And I'm not sure what disc that is that he is throwing right there, but that's not the only great shot he's going to have with that disc during this tournament. I just want to say that right now.
I had a good line on that one, just a little more uphill than you gave it credit for.
Keep that birdie streak alive.
Oh!
Good bid, though.
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah, so is that. Not fair.
Trevor will tap out his par.
Arlin will come tap out the lone birdie on the hole.
Yeah. That was a good drive.
And then a couple pars.
Alright, so we got all of our group under par overall now.
Yep.
That's kind of nice.
Good to see some green on under everyone's name.
Yeah. Especially since there was a little bit of wind and some threat of rain.
Well, and a lot of it was the roughs. You know, like it was much more about placing your shots where you needed them. You had to be much more accurate, so it was less about the power and the distance and more about the accuracy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always about the accuracy. I'm just... you know what I mean.
Looks like everybody's throwing their overstable putters on this one.
That's the play, is to just crash those trees and fall down sometimes right under the basket.
Yeah.
That's looking good, too.
Yeah, that's a really good line. I like that. As long as he didn't get caught up in the pit.
Or
there's a little pit down in the bottom there. Or flare deep, that is an issue sometimes too.
So, or hit the tree high. If you hit the tree high, sometimes you're left with this putt downhill with a low ceiling.
Yeah, that's always tricky.
But these guys are all right there, shooting between some trees. Yeah, but there's some easy gaps to straddle out to. Oh, except for Lucas.
Yeah, it looks like he did get a little bit deep there. Left him wide open. You can see the weeds sticking out of the pit I was talking about.
Oh,
I hate being in there and it doesn't get mowed because it's a pit.
Yeah, it can't. And there I go, ruining the star birdie.
Yep, it happens. Okay, so Trevor's picking right back up. Yeah,
we're only a few holes in. He's 4 down. That's
5 holes in, and he's already 4 under par. Here's hole 10. This is a fun one. You just throw off of the top of a hill. Just make sure you clear the willows down along the creek.
Yeah, the safe play is to push deep.
Yeah.
That looks perfect.
Yep, that should be right at the basket. See if Trevor can replicate that.
That looked like it got pulled over. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's going to be on the edge of that stuff. That's not fun.
Findable, and actually, if he's on the back side of it, kind of, he can have some kind of shot, as long as he's not buried in it.
That one's going to be a little left, but the distance looked good.
Yep. Nice calm day, so I'm going with a putter on this one.
And that looks like that should work just fine. Oh yeah, he's in a little bit of a tough spot there, just pitching over. Oh, and Lucas just a hair low. He's been so close on so many putts. Oh, and just off to the left.
At least I wasn't low that time.
That's true. See if Arlin can make the correction. No, just a hair low also.
He knew that out of his hand.
Trevor here trying to save a par.
Great scramble.
He does. Great scramble. That's tough to get out of where he was and still save par. That's pretty impressive. Looks like you might have left yourself a little more work than I like for my pars.
More work than I like, but
to run the birdie, sometimes you gotta leave yourself there, though. Gotta give it a chance. So I think that's a star par at least. Well, we'll call it a par frame. I don't know if it's a star.
Yeah, par frame sounds better.
Yeah. But still, with those tall bushes
There's
all
a lot
along it.
higher
You can
numbers
really
available
get
on that hole for sure.
You can definitely get in trouble. Where Trevor was, that can turn into a 4 so fast.
Now we get into, like, I don't care what the numbers say on any of the holes. This plays as the longest hole on the course.
Yeah, with the uphill, and this is a long one. It takes a lot more than a 420-foot throw to get to this basket.
We got some spotters out in the field for a couple of these holes, which was really nice. That looked pretty good. Left him wide open. He got left of those bushes, so he's looking at the basket.
Yeah, you definitely are better off if you're left of them. Off to the right, you're going to have them in the way.
Maybe not that far left, though.
No. Although I would take that over being that far right.
Yes, because the tree line along the side there, that beyond that is actually OB.
Right, so you don't want to go too deep on this one for sure, and it makes the approach shot tricky when you're trying to hyzer around those bushes.
And that was huge.
Yeah, that was a
crushed
nice
all
one.
the way to the bushes on a hyzer the whole way.
That one looks like it's got the distance. Maybe a little short.
We got to the bush.
Gonna have the bush in the way,
yeah,
though.
I gotta straddle out at least.
Yeah, see, he had a pretty open look there, but if you were on the right side, that approach shot would not have been that easy.
Yeah, no one's really complaining about a 3 on this hole either.
Yeah. Yeah, this is probably the least birdied hole.
Yeah, I actually have to go through. Now I remember. That's why I didn't remember. It's called a repressed memory.
Right.
And Arlin taking the 2, which is actually a rare 2.
It is.
And always good to see.
Yeah. Oh, and that's an unfortunate.
I mean, maybe just a little high on the chains.
Yeah,
but still
maybe a hair left.
It deserved to stick.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate bogey, but again, you don't get in the right spot. You can definitely get those bogeys on just about any hole out there.
Oh, yeah. And again, that rough out there is, I mean, it's tall enough to affect almost any throw.
Yeah. So here's hole 12, still headed up the hill, and the top of the hill has a flagged off out of bounds line along it, so you don't want to go long on this one. Seems to be kind of a theme here.
And that looked perfect.
Yeah. See if Lucas can just follow that jet stream right up to the basket. Oh, and he pulled it right.
It needs to get down,
and that's out of bounds.
Yeah, and the more right you go, the closer the OB actually is.
Yeah. And it got the skip.
Yeah, big flare into that.
That's
little
still
ravine.
not too bad. Made it a longer putt than you probably wanted, but especially since this basket kind of has a little bit of a lean to it. That was a great shot. Ooh, and he actually got that to stick. That's kind of tricky.
Yeah. And this basket has been kind of eroded underneath and kind of leans.
Ooh. Okay, that's set.
And you can see the chains leaning toward the downhill. So it's a bit treacherous.
Yeah, it definitely has a tendency to let them fall out that side and roll down the hill. Couple of nice birdies there from Arlin and Trevor. Lucas will clean up that bogey after going out of bounds.
Hey, that's a good save, though.
Yeah. You'll save your par.
Another frustrating low putt. That hill is actually pretty steep, though.
Yeah,
and
it is.
I'd rather hit the basket and fall down than sail over and go OB.
Yeah.
Because that OB is close when you get up by the basket itself.
It is. So this one's a fun one. It's a little short downhill shot. Just throw something right at the basket and hope it sticks.
Just like that.
Just like
Ooh,
that.
it just launched itself to the left.
Yeah, that'll still work though. Looks like he's still right there for it.
You go too far
Ooh,
left
that's in trouble
like that,
though.
and you can find yourself in some serious
Looks like he's
jam.
a little bit short though, so that might not be too bad. That's about what you want to do right there. That should be a pretty easy birdie.
Yep, wide open putt.
Is that too wide? It should be okay.
I mean, that would be parked if that rough hadn't eaten it.
Right.
Great bid from there.
Alright, so yeah, he did get himself a putt.
Oh.
Oh, just high. He'd been missing low quite a few of the earlier putts though, so.
Arlin punched all the way through.
Yeah, he finished in pretty good shape there. And as did you. That was about the perfect drive.
You got to be careful with that shot. If you throw something that has some skip to it.
Oh yeah, you can be way
along.
back behind it. Skip right up out of there. So, you got Arlin sitting at 5. He's kind of taking the lead now. Trevor kind of stagnated a little bit for a while.
And there's some easy birdies out there coming.
There's
up here
definitely still some birdies to go. Hole 14 here. There is a hyzer line, but most often you see the sidearm
or the thumber.
The thumber's a decent option. Looks like it might have rolled a little bit long into the tall weeds behind there, but still in good shape. You're choosing the sidearm option. The Anheuser is kind of tricky.
Yeah, I'm not much of a sidearm thrower. I don't use it often enough, so that was not.
Trevor's a little wide. Oh,
that
that
worked
turned
out
in.
great.
Yeah,
that parked.
I think it might have got a little bit of a kiss off of that tree on the side and pushed it the right way, but that works. And Lucas just throwing it sky high.
Got himself a look for a putt.
Yeah, he'll be in good shape. Looks like you're maybe 45, 50.
Just lay it up, really.
Yeah. Looks like Lucas got himself to around circle's edge. Oh, and just low again. Dakota tapping out his par real quick.
Trevor's just parked.
Yeah, Trevor for the birdie. And Lucas clean up his par real quick.
Arlin's
Here's
got maybe
Arlin
like a
for his
25, 30-foot putt. Great putt.
Great putt. That'll help build the confidence.
And keep the lead.
And keep the lead. Trevor right on his heels still. And neither of them have pulled away so far that either of you guys are out of it really yet. So still plenty of time to come back.
It's hard to tell where we're at in there. That was half round, wasn't it?
Just about. This is our last hole, I believe, on this first part of round one.
There's extra holes, so I'm a little bit off track.
Oh, and he caught the branch. I thought he might get under that.
But kicking down like that is not a bad shot.
Right.
It's like a circle's edge putt for birdie.
If this one comes back, that should be pretty nice.
Yeah,
ooh, maybe a little deep.
Deep's good, though, because deep's open and clear.
Deep is open and clear. Going with that origin again.
Straight down the gut, hopefully.
Oh, a little high. Just needs to drop. Oh, nope.
Yeah, I dropped.
This one's a tricky one because you want to keep it low, but you need that straight shot. So it's easy to get it a little too high. That was about perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, big
way
skip.
deep. Not way deep, but deeper than you want to be.
Yeah, especially with the weeds this tall. No real harm there. So Arlin for another bird. Oh, and just snuck it in.
Did I get it? Yes? No? Yes? Maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, a little hesitation on that run up for a second.
Great butt.
Oh,
Also
and Trevor
great
snuck
butt.
it in too. Little basket love on this one.
Yep.
Oh, and just low.
Yep. Felt it. You could see it on his face.
Ooh, and yours just snuck in too.
Yeah.
Alright, so a couple of birdies and a couple of pars on that one as well. Trevor and
those two are
Arlin
just taking off.
Yeah, they're fighting to keep up with each other at this point. So yeah, that's basically the end of part 1. So I hope you guys will come back and join us for part 2 of round 1.
We'll see you there.